was that summit that you and Gina mentioned about the financial education? Because I'm coming across for Daniel, I'm new just like him, but I've been here a bit. Some of these sellers I'm coming across, they're like, wow. I ask them, have they talked to their CPA, and these numbers are ridiculous. I don't even know they're talking to the CPA, but the numbers that are coming up. So I'm like, I want to get more, like at least get the run shot and just kick them off to the curb because we ain't got time for this. So,
right.
Okay. Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, IBBA Recasting Summit or IBBA Educational Summit, and you can find it out on IBBA.org.
Thank you.
And they run those summits, I think, every quarter. I think they have at least one every quarter. So they used to have them out in the field, and then after COVID, now they're all done virtual online, which is great because you don't have to pay for airfare and hotel and all of that to try and go take them. So it's a much better deal now. All right. Oh, one thing, Louis, about CPAs that you have to be careful about is that CPAs will oftentimes tell their client that the multiple in their industry is like a 10 to 12 or a 9 to 11 or something like that, which they're absolutely right. If the business was middle market doing 50 million in revenue, but because it's small business doing, 240,000 in gross revenue, it's not going for a 10 to 12 multiple. So the accountants oftentimes, and you have to be careful on how you convey the information because sometimes the seller has a 30-year relationship with their CPA. And so you can't just say, well, your CPA is full of shit, even though they are, right? So
I'll go even before that. We've talked about my demographic group, and we're talking about tax preparers and someone at H&R Block. And so when I've even brought up saying, hey, you need to go get a little bit more studious, it's always a money issue. Well, I don't, I'm not, so it's more for my knowledge to kind of give it, because everybody wants, it's kind of like in residential, they want a value of their house, right? That's why we have those lead pages. They'll get your value of your house, but this is the same thing. I'm getting calls, even referrals from other realtors that know that I'm coming here and trying to educate myself. They're like, oh, can you value a bit? I'm like, no. I mean, do you even have any numbers from the client? No, we don't. We can't get them. Oh, then kick them. And they're still stuck. I want to take the listing, Louis. I'm like, but all the stuff that you said today is it's happening. I mean, it's been happening, and I see it more right now. I don't know. I see it.
Well, and it's funny to me when, I have people hit me up on workplace chat. Well, let's say I just listed a business. Can you help me do a valuation? And I'm like, how'd you list a business without a price? And I literally had an agent say, oh, we just left that blank. And, we leave the price blank, we're going to fill it in later. And it's like, well, then your contract's invalid because if I would think that, look, we don't expect everybody to know contract law in detail, but you should know that for a contract to be valid, that nothing that is relevant or material to the contract, there can be no material changes to the contract after it's been signed, because that makes it voidable. So bottom line is, having somebody sign a blank contract it's not even a valid contract. There's no point to it. I don't know. But don't do it. It's just unprofessional. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Louis. Learn how to value them first. Have the conversation. This is what we think we can sell the business for. If it's a number that makes sense to you, then let's do the representation paperwork or the listing agreement. Then we'll move forward. But before then, it's like there's no point to it.